welcome to the English News Edition headline. Today marks a significant milestone in our nation's democratic journey as the official campaign period for the 2025 Legislative and District Council elections has commenced. Political parties, coalitions, and independent candidates presented their vision and programs to the population. In that line, the CNDD-FDD began its electoral campaign in preparation for the upcoming legislative election, along with those for municipal councillors. The campaign began in the presence of the President of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, who is also the leader within the CNDD-FDD party. Welcome, dear viewers, to details. As I inform you, on this 13th, the CNDD-FDD began its electoral campaign in the preparation for the upcoming legislative elections, along with those for municipal councillors. The campaign began in the presence of the President of the Republic of Burundi, who is also President of the Council of the Elder within the CNDD-FDD party. Now, Joseph Mulinda Jambo has more.
With the importance of God being emphasized with the CNDD-FDD party and the party's government, the songs of thanksgiving resounded at the Gakere area, Kiremba commune in Greater Butanyerera province, on the occasion of the start of the CNDD-FDD party's electoral campaign in this province in preparation for the upcoming legislative elections, coupled with those for municipal councillors. Ferdinand Habimana, provincial secretary of the CNDD-FDD party in the Butanyerera province, indicated that the population of this province feels a sense of pride towards the ruling party government. For he indicated that the measures taken by this government, especially those aimed at promoting the agro-pastoral sector, have enabled the population to live comfortably thanks to dividends from agro-pastoral activities. The start of electoral propaganda with the CNDD-FDD in the extended province of Butanyerera was also marked by the presentation of candidates for the upcoming legislative elections who are members of the CNDD-FDD in this province. A presentation made by Reverend Ndikurio, Secretary General of this party. He called on CNDD-FDD members to vote massively for this party because its victory will allow the continued implementation of the social project carried out by the CNDD-FDD party. Taking the floor, President Evariste Ndayishimiye, for his part, returned to the salvation brought to Burundi by the CNDD-FDD party after dark decades marked by an oppressive and bloody dictatorship. He nevertheless saluted the Burundians who understood that under no circumstances should Burundi relive such a situation. Evariste Ndayishimiye then gave thanks to God for saving Burundi, and the Burundian president also recalled the vital role played by the CNDD-FDD party in the return to peace and strengthening democracy in Burundi. Another highly anticipated moment was the presentation of the project put forward by the CNDD-FDD. During this moment, President Evariste Ndayishimiye indicated that the CNDD-FDD will strengthen the character of a paternalistic and hard-working state. President Evariste Ndayishimiye further indicated that special attention will be paid to certain categories of the population. Among them, young people will be introduced to development projects as well as projects aimed at improving the living conditions of Burundian women with a view to achieving financial self-sufficiency for these categories. Burundians in the diaspora will also benefit from facilities in development projects undertaken in Burundi, even if they feel truly at home once they arrive in Burundi. The Burundian president indicated that in this regard, the Batwa community will also be taken into account in the country's development. particularly by providing members of this ethnic group with shelter and thus allowing them to start their development projects from this new comfortable situation. In the environmental field, Everest Ndayishimiye indicated that no energy sources other than firewood will be promoted in an effort to combat deforestation. Deforestation projects will be encouraged, especially agroforestry, to not mention the delineation of counter lines. At the start of the CNDD-FDD party's electoral campaign in the wider province of Butanyerera, a moment of silence was observed in tribute to the late President Pierre Nkurunziza for his leading role in strengthening democracy in Burundi. This tribute was also marked by the presence of the country's highest authorities in the province of Butanyerera, the province where the late President Pierre Nkurunziza was originally from.
In Bujumbura province, the CNDD-FDD party campaign launch was also held. These activities were represented by the party's provincial secretary Alexandre Ngoragoze. Jivan Ndayishimiye has more.
We are at the football field known as Sebatutsi in Imogere commune when the CNDD-FDD party launched its electoral campaign for the extended Bujumbura province. In his speech, the provincial secretary of Bujumbura, Alexandre Ngoragoze, who presided over the campaign launch, reminded Abagunyabanga members of the CNDD-FDD party that the electoral campaign is a time to educate everyone about the upcoming elections. He urged Abagunyabanga to refrain from provoking members of other political parties, emphasizing that life continues after the elections. Before presenting the CNDD-FDD party's proposed project, Alexandre Ngoragoze introduced the parliamentary candidates for Bujumbura province as well as those on the communal council list for Mugere commune. Zenon Ruvukanye, member of the CNDD-FDD party's council of elders, called on the population of Bujumbura municipality to maintain peace and security, especially during this election period. The campaign event also included a session to teach CNDD-FDD members from the extended Bujumbura province how to vote in the upcoming elections scheduled for June 5th, 2025.
Also, within the Iplona party, the electoral campaign for the legislative and the municipal election also began this Tuesday at the Sesinga ground in Ngagala zone, Nangwa commune. The party's president is asking members and non-members to vote for the party, as its social vision include flagship project to restructure the national economy, strengthening social unity, and many other goals. Now, Marius Muhigwe has more.
In red and white colors symbolizing the UPLONA party, some carried party flags. These UPLONA party members began this campaign with a parade through the streets that close this zone. Those ceremonies then continued at Sesinga Field, while distinguished guests graced the event with the presence. Among them we name the Vice President of the Republic, Prospere Bazombanza, the President of UPLONA party, at the same time MP at the East African Legislative Assembly, the second Vice President of the National Assembly, Abel Gashatsi, and other UPLONA party members. In his opening remark, the president of UPLONA party addressed the irregularities that the party has observed in certain municipalities of Bururi and Musongati, Meanwhile, they have chosen better to continue with the supporters the electoral rally, and they took the opportunity to present the party's project. Here we name the promotion of justice, democracy, repatriation, the restoration of Arusha agreements, and the national unity. The party has also promised to strengthen bilateral and multilateral relations in the economic sphere. UPLONA party plans the restructuring of the national economy and the Burundian education system. The chairman of this party, Prosper Bazombanza, the vice president, has congratulated the party governing body for leading the party into the elections in a peaceful social climate. He also called on its members to vote for UPLONA party and urged all citizens to preserve peace and security. These ceremonies were also an opportunity to present the candidates for parliament within expanded province of Bujumbura in a good atmosphere.
The National Rally for Change, Ranakini French acronym, also accompanied the Musaga region, the establishment of industries in all provinces and the use of tractors in agriculture are part of its social vision. Also, on the same line, the Lades party also began its electoral campaign this Tuesday in Bujumbura, where it called on all Burundians to vote for it in the upcoming elections scheduled for June. The party's president promised the Burundian people that he would develop agriculture, livestock farming, and the ICT sector once elected. Also, now being that same line, the Burundian Ombudsman Emelo Lantine Kanyana has corrected on all Burundian, has called on all Burundian to hurry to correct voter cards in order to participate in the upcoming elections. She made this appeal on Monday afternoon after withdrawing her own voter card at the registration center located at Muremela Stadium. Everest Nyonguru has more.
In front of the registration center located at Muremela Stadium in the city of Ngozi, citizens who had enrolled to participate in the upcoming elections were present to withdraw their voter cards. After withdrawing their cards, many expressed their satisfaction, saying that they were glad to gain the right to choose the leaders who will help them to achieve Burundi's vision of becoming an emergent country by 2040 and a developed one by 2060. One individual remarked that upon analyzing this vision, it particularly involves young people. He took the opportunity to urge other youth to come forward and withdraw their voter cards. The Burundian Ombudsman also joined other citizens of Ngozi in the voter card withdrawal campaign. She says this occasion to make a strong appeal to all eligible and registered voters to withdraw their cards in a timely manner. Emelo Lantine Kanyana advised the public to respect the deadline set by the National Independent Electoral Commission (CENI) for the withdrawal of voting cards.
To end this news, the Prime Minister Gervendra Kobuta presided over a joint review of portfolio performance this Monday between the government of Burundi and the African Development Bank. Although the implementation of the portfolio was deemed satisfactory, several challenges were noted. The Prime Minister urged all project coordinators and the Ministry of Finance to ensure that each project has a recovery plan in place in accordance with agreed commitments. Jivan Deshimier reports.
This meeting on a joint review of portfolio performance between the government of Burundi and the African Development Bank aimed to identify and list the challenges and other factors hindering the overall implementation of African Development Bank funded projects and to propose immediate actions to improve portfolio performance. The Minister of Finance, Nestor Naonuye, stated that the implementation of African Development Bank financed projects is generally satisfactory. Of the 19 public sector projects, disbursement rate stands at 52.9%, while the programmatic performance reached 71%. However, He highlighted some challenges, including prolonged delays in obtaining no objection opinions for documents submitted to the bank, as well as delays in the execution of certain projects. He mentioned agricultural projects in Kirundo province, such as Patareb and Padekaye, as well as the Paserek project for rural drinking water supply. The Burundian Prime Minister Gervais de la Kobucha proposed solutions to address these delays. He indicated that the government will strengthen the monitoring and evaluation mechanism for projects and urged the African Development Bank to do the same by taking appropriate measures to end delays in processing requests for no objection opinions. He also urged project coordinators and the Ministry of Finance to ensure the effective implementation of each project's recovery plan in order to meet the commitments made during this review and contribute to achieving Burundi's vision of becoming an emerging country by 2040 and a developed country by 2060. Among the projects financed by the African Development Bank are those in the infrastructure and the transport sector, representing 43%, the energy sector representing 23%, agriculture 24%, and the social sector representing 6%, while water and sanitation represent 3% and the finance 1% of the commitments.
Thank you, dear viewers, for your attention. This is the end of One News Edition. I'm really going to miss you.